Well, like I said, I've been said those fights can get made. It just depends on the fighters sitting down and actually going to their handlers and tell them, look, this is the fight that I want, and make it happen. Well, they offered me to fight and put some money behind it. It's a go. Yeah. I don't turn down no fights.
She said, don't f with me. He'd have to been ringside at the fight 2 days ago. And he's lucky he didn't get his face broke badly there. You don't. If you're ringside and you're afforded that opportunity, I just didn't. I found it a bit distasteful. I like Terence.
Terence Crawford has now publicly called out Conor McGregor for a boxing match, and the idea alone has already sparked a huge debate across the combat sports world.
All the boxing media is out, and this is one of the biggest boxing events in a long time, and it feels that way as well.
The moment Terence Crawford's name became linked with Conor McGregor, it sounded like one of those matchups people laugh about at first before gradually taking it seriously. That's because when McGregor is involved, the usual rules rarely apply. He brings attention, money, controversy, and a fan base capable of turning almost any fight into a global event. But Crawford isn't the type of boxer who would treat it as entertainment alone. If he steps into the ring, he's bringing elite skill, perfect timing, and the mentality of a world champion who takes every fight seriously once the opening bell sounds.
Like I said, we only shall see. I can't give any hard answers on that because you never know. But yeah, I would love to get in the ring with those fighters, but at the business side of the table, it all got to make sense.
This is where the conversation begins to shift because Crawford isn't simply discussing a possible fight anymore. He starts looking at Conor McGregor from a much broader perspective, beyond the headlines, the trash talk, and the financial rewards. To Crawford, McGregor isn't just another UFC star attempting to cross over into boxing. He appears to respect the journey, the image, and the way Conor built himself into one of the biggest names in combat sports worldwide. At the same time, Crawford also points toward a deeper issue within boxing, where certain fighters are often expected to embrace controversy, play the villain, and absorb public criticism simply to help sell major fights.
No. Conor McGregor, I say he one of us, because they was treated like black people over there where he from. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh yeah, a lot of Irish slaves.
They was treated just like us.
Sure.
So, I consider him one of us. But at the same time, in boxing, it's always the black fighters gotta be the ones that step out and play this circus role and be the one to talk.
From Conor McGregor's point of view, the entire Crawford discussion becomes even more fascinating because he isn't speaking like someone desperately chasing another boxing opportunity. Instead, he's talking like a fighter who has already crossed over once, made history, and believes anyone wanting an event of that magnitude has to operate on his terms. That's what makes this situation so unusual. Terence Crawford is one of boxing's purest technicians and one of the sport's elite pound-for-pound champions, while McGregor is trying to pull the negotiations into his own world before anything becomes official. So before this can even become a fight, the debate shifts toward rules, money, and who ultimately controls the event.
Opportunities. And then the Terence Crawford one came up, 2-fight deal. They were saying, maybe boxing for us says, listen lads, I've done this. I've done the boxing. They have to come to me now. I'll do the boxing after. So it was worked out of a 2-fight deal.
Wow.
Mixed martial arts first.
With Terence?
With Terence. And boxing after. I said, he's not going to accept it. I hope he accepts it. He can f***ing wrestle. Maybe we'll have to wait for his son to do it. Maybe his son will have the
Then came the number that immediately changed the entire conversation. $200 million. Suddenly, this wasn't simply Terence Crawford versus Conor McGregor anymore. It became a discussion about pride, negotiating power, risk, and one of the biggest potential paydays in combat sports history.
Crack Terence, it's the Mac Daddy. I got the big fella here. We've got a big deal for you. Hundreds of millions. 200 million to be exact. Mixed martial arts against me and a boxing one against you. I don't want to be kicked by you. No way. I says, my man, we can box the few months later. What's the crack? Come on, you're mad. You can wrestle, and he just didn't want to know.
Terence Crawford later made his position even clearer when he posted on social media. Still till this day, no matter what y'all say or how you feel, boxing is still and will forever be the hardest sport to do at a top level. That statement tied directly into the growing conversation surrounding Conor McGregor, because Crawford was reminding everyone that elite-level boxing isn't simply a celebrity challenge. It's an entirely different world once the bell rings. Conor McGregor, however, wasn't about to let that comment go unanswered. He fired back with a brief but memorable reply, saying, "I guess we'll never know." Even though it was only one sentence, it immediately intensified the exchange because it sounded like McGregor was throwing the challenge straight back at Crawford without saying much at all. Crawford responded quickly, saying, "We do know. All you got to do is look at it, and you, my friend, definitely know from experience." But he didn't stop there. He followed it up by adding, "This is the guy that said he would knock me out and whoop me in Shakur at the same time." At that point, the discussion shifted from a debate about boxing into a direct shot at McGregor's confidence. Crawford was essentially mocking the idea that Conor could claim he'd defeat elite boxers when he already understood firsthand how difficult boxing truly is. McGregor then fired back with a far more aggressive response, saying, "What the __ are you saying? You can wrestle, yet you are afraid of an MMA fight. That to me is pitiful. The kid was beaten in an MMA fight, which you don't have the courage for. What the __ is with all these little boxers at this show, yet no MMA fighters." That response completely changed the tone. Now the argument wasn't simply about boxing anymore. McGregor was trying to drag the discussion into the MMA world, making it about courage, wrestling, and whether Crawford was willing to leave his comfort zone. Crawford answered back just as forcefully, saying, "Shut your drunk ass up and get ready for your fight. You got your ass hooped like you did running your mouth. I don't have to come and fight in the cage. That's the joy of boxing. You all come to us. We don't have to come to you all." That reply perfectly summed up Crawford's position. He had no interest in allowing McGregor to dictate the rules or move the conversation into MMA. In Crawford's eyes, boxing already holds the stronger position because crossover stars usually leave their own sport to compete inside a boxing ring. As far as he's concerned, he has nothing to prove inside a cage. If Conor McGregor wants the spotlight and the payday, Crawford believes he already knows exactly where to find him. McGregor kept the exchange alive with another short reply, saying, "Don't be scared, homie. MMA kings like us." It was classic McGregor. Rather than debating Crawford's point about boxing, he turned the conversation into a test of courage. His message was simple. If Crawford truly believes in his wrestling ability and wants to prove himself, then he shouldn't be afraid to compete under MMA rules. At that stage, the rivalry had evolved beyond boxing itself. Both men were now challenging each other's world. Crawford maintained that boxers don't need to enter the cage, while McGregor argued that true champions should be willing to compete anywhere. Crawford later expanded on his position, saying, "I don't care what sport you do. They all want to learn how to box. Even the soccer moms want to put the gloves on and do punch fitness. You don't see them training to do MMA for other sports. We are not the same, but I respect the hell out of you all. I'm just saying." That statement brought the debate back to boxing's influence. Crawford wasn't claiming MMA was easy. Instead, he argued that boxing remains the foundation every combat athlete wants to improve. In his opinion, regardless of the sport, competitors eventually return to learning proper punching technique and boxing fundamentals. Meanwhile, Conor McGregor has also spoken publicly about his next fight, ongoing WWE rumors, future acting projects, Terence Crawford, and what could be coming next in his career.
How you feeling for this right now, man?
Great. Stellar. Tremendous.
Do you have any predictions for this match?
Flawless performance. A great performance. I'm ready to rock. Everything I can.
So is this gonna be the? How many more fights you have this year? Would you say?
Loads. I have loads of fights left. That's all you need to know. And I hope for more. But you know what? I've been saying that. I'm done even saying that. I've got the date. I want to go in and prove my worth. What I'm about. Settle my feet in the cage.
Meanwhile, Terence Crawford has also explained why he has no interest in stepping into an MMA cage, and his reasoning was straightforward. The financial reward simply isn't worth the risk. That statement completely changes the McGregor discussion because Crawford isn't speaking from fear. He's looking at it strictly as a business decision. In boxing, he understands his market value, trusts his skill set, and knows the type of money elite fights can generate. Under MMA rules, however, everything changes. The dangers are different, the skill set is different. And in Crawford's opinion, the financial reward doesn't justify taking that risk. So while Conor McGregor continues trying to lure him into the cage, Crawford is making it clear he doesn't need MMA to validate his legacy.
Trained wrestling. Would you ever get into MMA of any sort or not?
Nah. They don't pay enough.
Damn.
Man, you get messed up in wrestling.
Yeah.
Just in general. You know, to do wrestling, kicking, boxing, and elbowing, like, man, you can have it.
Do you watch the UFC?
Yeah.
Who are your favorite fighters for the UFC?
John Jones. Khabib, hands down.
What about, you like Taporia?
Listen, this crazy. I never seen this dude fight.
For real?
Never, not once. I'm gonna have to watch him on YouTube. I swear to God,
he's
I've
crazy.
never seen this.
You know, he knocked out Max. Well, knocked down Max Holloway. That guy.
Max been doing this for a long time, though.
True.
You know, but
Max is my favorite fighter of all time in the UFC.
Yeah.
I love Max Holloway. He's great.
That dude big. I don't see how he was making that weight.
According to Punch Drunk Boxing, the ongoing exchange between Terence Crawford and Conor McGregor shouldn't simply be dismissed as ordinary social media trash talk. His argument is that if Crawford is willing to stand his ground against other fighters and bring that same intensity into boxing rivalries, then McGregor shouldn't receive different treatment simply because he comes from MMA. The point is straightforward. Fans constantly mention Crawford's wrestling background, and now McGregor is testing that reputation by challenging him to enter the cage. From Punch Drunk Boxing's perspective, a fight like that wouldn't just be dangerous. It could become enormous business because Conor McGregor brings the kind of crossover appeal capable of turning a single challenge into one of the biggest paydays in combat sports.
Better way to end a story than to do everything that you said you was gonna do, how you do it, your own way. And it's like so many obstacles was put in front of you to break you. You overcame everything and you did it your way and you smiled in their face. And at the end of the day, you said, yo, I ain't got nothing else to prove.
Make sure to check out our other videos on the screen.